What's going on, everybody? LK here, back at it again with another video, and today we have some more Dragon Ball FighterZ for y'all. And today specifically, I want to talk about a move that both gets memed to death and also doesn't get enough respect or appreciation, and that is the lowly jab. So this game definitely has a reputation for mashing, and that kind of comes from being able to whiff auto combo. Moves on whiff canceling into other stuff is pretty uncommon in fighting games, and this is given to auto combo by design. I want to talk about some uses of jabs and why jabs are so important. So first off, straight up, it is the speed. Jabs are pretty much always your character's fastest normals, whether or not you have a 6-frame one or a 7-frame one. They also are generally your shortest total duration move, and what I mean by that is the entire length of the move. So here I have the jab, the game says 20 frames. That shows minus 20 frames, right? Because I whiffed it. So it shows you the total duration of the move that way. Compared to normals like his 5M, which is 29 frames total, or his 2M, which is 35 frames total, or his 5H, which is more than 40 frames total. Even doing 2 hits of the auto combos, 39 frames total. So your jabs are your fastest moves. So what is so good about them being so fast? So one thing you can do, especially if you have a good jab like Lord Gogeta, the Gogeta of power, is you can use it as a low committal anti-air. So what do I mean? Dragon Ball jumping has always been really strong. In general, they don't give characters universally strong anti-air tools. Every character in this game has 2H, down H. This is a move that it beats jumping moves, but the total duration varies quite a bit, but it's usually quite long. Some characters are privileged enough to have moves that just catch people who jump, but not all characters have moves like this. In the case that either you have an auto combo with head invo like Gogeta, or you just have a high reaching jab, you can use the jab as a low commit anti-air. In the case you have an auto combo of head invincibility, you can straight up just mash on it, because you will go through jump-ins. But in the case that you don't, you can also try to check people with your jab. There'll be times where you want to use your jab to catch people who are falling, and while there are ways for the opponent to hit you for using your jab like this, if your timing is pretty good, you can still defend in time, as opposed to committing to a 2H, which can get you punished worse. So the difference between a jab and a 2H as an anti-air is that since a jab is faster in its entirety, it is less of a commitment to try to use that to hit your opponent than your 2H. Basically, there is a reason why you see people only try to hit super dashes with 2H and not jump-ins in general, and it's because of this. Similarly, you can use jabs to confirm situations as well. This is something using how canceling moves in the game works. Since we can cancel buttons on block and hit, but we can't cancel them on whiff. If you can hear my buttons, I'm hitting M right here, but it's only going to work when I connect. That means we can use the jab when we try to pin our opponents down to see whether or not we hit them or not, and then try to see what to do next. Of course, in a situation that you do catch them, you'll get the buttons. But if you don't, then your jab will just whiff, and you'll be safe to do whatever you want. Move again, jump, calm assist, whatever. The last thing is for defense. So the jab on defense protects you from opponents taking their turns back, and if your character has additional defensive options unique to them, it really solidifies your defense. So an example of someone trying to take their turn back would be using a move like this. This move is -4. So if someone tried to do this and then take their turn with a jab, you, whether or not you have a 6-frame or 7-frame jab, will always be able to win in this situation. Your opponent will have to take some type of risk to not have your jab win in that situation. Anything they would do, like reflect or level 3 or a DP, is quite a big risk for them. If you chose to block or jump, you will escape and punish them. This is a pretty good thing to remember after special moves, especially because most of the normals in the game, by the way, are minus as well, but they can be cancelled extremely late, so you don't want to really use your jabs against that per se. You want to primarily use your jabs not against this, but against this. The other thing that jab really helps on defense is if your character has other defensive options. So Gogeta has the 2-2 DP as well as a 4-frame. So say here, after blocking Vanish, you have the 4-frame, you have the DP. So your opponent might try baiting these options, which gives you the opportunity to take your turn. Next time they want to hit the jab, and then something like a backdash or the defensive option of choice will be good to keep them on your toes. When you have extra defensive options, it really lets you cycle your defense and makes it really hard for your opponent to get a read on what you like to do. Using jab in a case like this makes your other defensive options better because your opponent is thinking, I have to hit them for mashing. It makes escape options like jumping and backdashes better because your opponent is waiting for jabs, so you're able to slip out. And it makes your straight up blocking stronger as well. Even in the case where you don't have extra defensive options like a level 3 or something, or Spark, or any other system mechanic, being able to use jab occasionally will make it harder for the attacker to read how you like to act on defense. So to put it all together, let's build a situation. So we're going to use Vanish straight up. So the first time my opponent vanishes, I do nothing. I see they take their turn. The next time, I challenge with DP. The next time they dash block, I do a delay jump out. The next time they try to take their turn back, I DP again. The next time they try to take their turn again, I respect it. Then the opponent remembers a couple of times before I DP. This time they try to dash block, I am mashing, and I take my turn back. So we use all of our defensive options to try to make it difficult for the opponent to run offense. A place like after blocking a plus move like a Vanish, or after blocking something like Gogeta's Axe Kick, which is the same frame advantage as Vanish +2, is a pretty common recurring situation in the game, and it's a good place to apply this type of concept. Hopefully this makes sense though. We can go way more in depth with defense actually. As usual, if you guys have any questions or comments, definitely feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Like and subscribe if you guys feel like it, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.